Okay guys, so moving on with these audio tracks and audio recording tutorials in Logic, let's now look at the take folder and quick swipe comping, which is a fantastic feature in Logic. Now I'm going to be using this new Logic 10.3 from now on for these tutorials, but if you're using the older version, the last version you could use with Mavericks, the only difference is in the record menu, overlapping audio recordings. The only difference is that the new Logic 10.3 has create track alternative in both the no cycle and cycle parts of the overlap audio recordings menu. Otherwise it's the same in the older version of Logic, and create take folder should be ticked for both no cycle and cycle in this menu, overlapping audio recordings, right? Okay, so let's start by looking at using a take folder when you're doing cycle recording. Now take folders, the take folder and the quick swipe comping is a fantastic way to work on instrument solos. Let's say a guitar solo, all right? So I'm no guitarist, right? But I've got a guitar. Let's say this is the guitar solo section of my song, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to hit record and let it cycle around and around and around, and I'm going to do 3 different guitar solo takes, and my solo each time is going to be divided into 4 phrases over the 8 bars. Okay, so I'm not a guitar player, don't expect anything fantastic, right? But here we go. Let's get this solo down. Right, here we go. Okay, as I said, I'm not a guitar player. So you get your instrumentalist to just play over the cycle range of the solo section, and you just end up with a bunch of takes in the take folder, right? Take 1, take 2 and take 3, and at the top is the comp master, or the take folder master, which can be compacted and expanded. Okay, so whichever take I click on, that's the one that's playing across the top. This is the active region, the take or comp master, that's going to actually play back. And whichever of these takes I select, that is what will play back at the top. So now I can go through and audition my takes and go, well, which one do I want? That one? Or this one? Or this one? Yeah, easy peasy. Choose the take you want, and when you've got the take selected, you just compact the take folder, and that's the one that's going to be playing. But anytime you can open out and your choices are still there. Okay, but the genius thing we can do with these take folders is we can do quick swipe comping. Let's just expand out a bit. When you mouse over any of the takes inside the folder, you get this vertical mouse tool, which is your swiping tool. So you go and choose the opening take that you want, Do I want to start with take 1 opening phrase, take 2 or take 3? Let's go with take 1. Okay, and then you think, well, what do I want to play next? Do I want to continue letting take 1 play for the next phrase, or let's switch to take 2, and you just swipe across and it's going to jump. The comp master at the top is now going to play this bit followed by that bit and then go back to take 1 again. And where the swipe joins between this and this section, there's a crossfade on the comp master track at the top. It crossfades between the bits that you swipe. Okay, so we're going to go from here to here now. And then back to here, right? And now for the ending, I could stick with, for the ending, I could stick with the ending of take 1, or let's try the ending of take 2 for the last phrase. Let's just move that join across a bit to avoid that note, the little bum note somewhere around here in take 1. Okay, so we're going to transition across to the last part of take 2 a little earlier now, because you can move the transition point around, right? Let's hear that. Now there's also a bum note in there as well. Okay, never mind. I'll show you a way to fix that later. So we're going to transition from here to there. Or let's try transitioning to the ending of the third take here. Okay, so you think, fantastic, that's my solo. Those phrases from those different takes. And that's what's playing across the top. That bit, followed by that bit, followed by that bit, followed by that bit. And it crossfades between them. And there's my comp master, composed from different bits of each take to make a completely new solo. Tell you what, let's do something different. In this section here we're playing that phrase, but those two, and then we'll go up to that one, just for that end bit, like that. There's my new solo. This followed by this, followed by this, followed by those 4 notes there, followed by that for the end. That's what's now playing in the comp across the top. And once I've decided, I just compact that take folder, and my selection, my swiped comp selection, is what's playing across the top. Fantastic, huh? Brilliant. But we can create alternative comps. At the moment, if I drop that middle button, drop it down, I've only got one comp, comp A. That's what's playing across the top, made up from this selection of bits from the 3 takes. But I can duplicate the comp and create another version. So let's duplicate the comp. Now I've got 2 comps. Comp A, what I just made, and the copy, comp B. Now comp B, I'm going to change it. In comp B, we'll have that bit for the second bit there. So it's different. Yeah, or I could stick with, let's move to this bit and then Just those last two notes from take 3. Then we drop down to here, and then to here, and then to here. Let's hear that. Yeah, okay, completely new solo. And I've got 2 now. Comp A, that selection, and Comp B, that selection. Okay, I can switch between them anytime. For now, I'll go with Comp A, and I compact, and now I can use this in my song. This can be copied around, it can be moved, etc. But anytime, I've still got the other option, Comp B, slightly different, right? And I can wait until the final mix, you know, and then go, right, mixes all together. Now let's go to this guitar solo and decide which comp we're going to have. A or B. I can make more. I could have A, C and D and E, right? Okay. It's just bloody fantastic. Now, once you've made a decision about your comp, let's go with Comp A. I drop down the same menu. And I can rename the comp. I can delete the comp, in which case the takes will still be there, but that particular comp that's selected at the top will just be deleted, and I'll be left with any other comps. Or if there are no comps at all, I'll just, when I delete the only comp I've got, I'll be left with just the 3 takes, and I start all over again. Okay, but we've also got, and there's delete all other comps. In other words, if comp A is selected and I've got comp B, C, D and E, and I do delete other comps, everything, all the other comps will be deleted apart from comp A, but I'll still have my 3 takes, of course. But once you made a decision about, you know, which comp you're going to use, or if you just make one comp and decide I'm absolutely sure with that, that's the compilation that I want by swiping the bits together, you can flatten or flatten and merge. Now, flatten will simply delete the takes, and the bits that you've ordered that make up the comp will be left on the track as separate regions. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate regions. Flatten. Boom. All the takes that the bits were taken from have been deleted, and we're left with those 5 regions in the correct order, making up the new solo. Or we can do flatten and merge, which does the same thing, deletes all the takes, puts the current comp, the bits that make up that current comp, onto the main track, but it merges them into a new region. So, well, new region, right? Command Z20. Okay. Now we've got other options. I've got more than one comp. I've got 2 comps, A and B. I can do export active comp to a new track. Now this should really be copy active comp to a new track. My active comp, I've got 2 choices of comp. Comp A, currently at the top, made up of the bits we see here. Or Comp B, now at the top, made up of these bits, right? Go back to Comp A. So if I do export or copy active comp to the new track, the current comp at the top, which is Comp A, is going to be copied to a new track, but, well, watch. Export active comp, well, it's actually copy active comp to a new track. Boom. It copies that comp to a new track as individual regions, but the comp is still in the comp, still in the take folder. Okay. Okay. Let's delete that. But if we do move active comp to new track, again, our active comp is still comp A. Move active comp to new track. It moves that comp to a new track, the same as with copy, but it's removed from the take folder. There is no more comp A in the folder, and it actually chops out the bits from each take that make up that comp that's been moved. Okay. All right. Command Z20. And then we've got unpack and unpack to new tracks. Well, basically what that does is it destroys the take folder and puts the takes onto their own tracks with the same whatever the take folder track, whatever its its track settings are, that will be copied to the new track. So the 3 takes will be put on their own tracks with duplicate track settings, and the comps will be put on their own tracks. Okay, and the take folder will be destroyed. Unpack, and all it does is it unpacks the whole lot, and it mutes everything apart from the active comp that was the one you had selected, which was for me comp A. So it's put the 3 takes on their own track, it's put the comp B on its own track, and they're all muted. And the only difference with unpack to new tracks is it does the same thing, but it doesn't mute any of them. That's all it is, right? And then finally, if you've got 10.3, we've got unpack to new track alternatives. Now again, my active comp is comp A at the top. I've got comp B inside, not being used, and they're the 3 takes that the comp's being taken from. Unpack to new track alternatives, boom. And the current active comp that was the current comp at the top is flattened and put on the track as separate regions. And if I go and show inactive track alternatives, it's done a similar thing to unpacking to new tracks, but they've just been unpacked to new track alternative sub tracks which live inside the main track. So my active comp is at the top, flattened. The unactive comp is there inside as a track alternative, flattened, and my 3 takes are in there, flattened. And any of them can be put on the top track alternative, the main track, to be the one that plays back. So currently my flattened comp A is playing, but if I want my flattened but hidden comp B to be at the top playing, I just select it and bam, hit the arrow, and that's at the top now playing. If I want the whole of take 1 here to play, then I just click its arrow, that goes to the top, that'll play. If I want the whole of take 2 to play, click its arrow, that goes to the top and plays. And if I want the whole of take 3 to play, click its arrow and that goes to the top. Okay, I want take comp A to go back to the top, bam, it's back at the top. Okay, that's track alternatives. And we can hide the inactive ones, they don't play. Okay, so let me undo, and undo. We're back to our take folder. Okay, so that's one way you can use it to create completely new solos out of 2, 3 or 4 solo takes cycling round. It's brilliant, and each time that the guitarist plays a different solo as it cycles round, they can play a completely different phrasing in each bit, or they can play the exact same solo each time, and then you can just swipe the best played bits from each take together into one final solo. Right? Another way that this is absolutely bloody brilliant, this take folder, is when you're getting a vocal idea together. Let me just show you. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, so let's say this is a section of verse or the chorus, right? Let me switch this track to receive from my mic input. Take the amp sim off it so I don't sound like I'm singing through a guitar amp. Yeah. Okay, now this is a section. This is your verse or your chorus, and you can cycle round, get the singer to sing. And each time the singer can sing the verse or the chorus, and you know, verses and choruses are divided up into separate phrases, so they can sing it with each cycle, varying the phrasing each time. Okay, this is great, right? So let's do that. I'm going to sing a typical, you know, sad American style rock ballad, Thin Lizzy style, My Girlfriend Left Me type thing. Here we go.
Baby, baby, where did our love go? I heard that you left this town. Where did our love go? Baby, where did our love go? I heard that you left this town. did our love go? Baby, 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 where did our love go? I heard that you left this town. Where did our love go?
Right. And I've got 3 slightly differently phrased takes. Okay. Take 1.
Baby, baby,
Take 2.
baby,
Take 3.
baby, baby, baby.
So I decide which one I want to open with. I can either go with, just like, well, take 1, take 2, or take 3, decide which one. Oh, I'm going to go with take 2, compact, done. Or, flatten and merge, and I'm done, right? I just choose the best take and I'm done. But I phrased it slightly differently in each bit, so I'm going to start, let's say, with the opening of take 1.
Baby, baby.
Then we'll try switching to take 2 for the next phrase.
Where did our love go?
Or let's try take 3 for the next phrase.
Where did our love go?
I'm going to go with take 2 for the next phrase there, right? So we got
baby, baby, where did our love go?
See, this version is sung earlier. These 2 versions, take 3 and take 1, I left the phrasing a couple of beats and came in later. So I'm going to go with the earlier one here, right? And on the next phrase, the 3rd phrase here, in take 1 and take 2, I sang them pretty much starting at the same time, but extended out take 2 a bit longer. Take 3, I came in with the phrase later. So let's go to take 3 for that phrase now, right? So coming out of this
love go. I heard that you left this town.
and
Where did our love go?
And then for the end we can have this one or this one.
This town. Where did our love go?
Or I can just stick with take 3 for the whole of the ending, both phrases.
Where did our...
But I like this one, so we're going to go to that one. And there's my comp. Phrase, 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 phrase. There's the compilation of them across the top. And it's just so brilliant to get different phrasing together like that. And because the way you phrase, the timing that you use for individual phrases of a verse or chorus can massively change the impact of that verse or chorus. So you can just cycle around and get the singer to sing and slightly phrase it differently for each bit, and then swipe together the comp of which is the best. So there's my first comp made of those bits. Bim, 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 bim. Comp A. Now I'll duplicate it and let's have another version. Now we're on comp B. That's what's playing at the top. So for comp B, I'm going to go with this back to take 1 for that phrase and have it a little earlier, not the 3rd take there where it's later, and then stick with the ending the same there. So now it's different, right?
Go. I heard that you left this town. Where did our love go?
Okay, so I've got 2 takes, or 2 comps rather. Comp A with this 3rd take for the 3rd phrase, and comp B with the 1st take for the 3rd phrase. Again, choose the one I want, A or B, and just compact the take folder, and that will work. That will just play, but it's always there to open out and make a final decision. Or if you're absolutely sure you want take comp A or comp B, let's say, I'm sure I want comp A, then you've got the same choices about flattening, flatten and merge, exporting, unpacking, and all the rest of it, or unpacking to track alternatives, right? But it's this cycling around to do this is just such a genius way to come up with you know, the correct phrasing, or maybe you haven't really decided on the vocal for a chorus, and you've got different vocal words, you've got different lyric alternatives. Again, cycle around and get the singer to sing the different lyric alternatives each time, slightly changing the lyrics for each verse, and then play them back and decide which is the right one. And if necessary, swipe between different lyric for different parts of the phrasing of the whole thing to make a comp, you know. It's just genius for getting together vocal ideas and making definitive vocal ideas for verses and choruses. Okay, now that's using take folders and this quick swiping when we're working in cycle mode, right? But also we can use the take folders when we're not cycle recording. Really, pretty much the only time that happens is if you're doing a punch in, a drop in, because these take folders, they work when you're doing overlapping recording, right? So you get overlapping recording when you're cycling, but if we take cycle off, then we'll use the same create take folder when we're not in cycle. Sorry, here, not in cycle, no cycle, create take folder. So I'll sing some lyric here, the same lyric. Here we go.
Baby, baby, where did our love go? I heard that you left this town. Where did our love go?
Okay, so there's my recording. Now I've got my let's customize control bar, modes and functions, bring in auto punch. Okay, we looked at this when we did punch in recording in the previous tutorial in this series, but now let's explain it, because you did see the take folder there, but I didn't explain it. So we're going to do auto punch now. Let's say that, you know, this is a bit of the singing, and there's something I want to do again. Maybe this phrase.
Where did our love go?
Or that phrase.
I heard that you left this town. Where did our love go?
Yeah, the end phrase. It's a bit weedy. It's not got the same level as the other three phrases, so we're going to punch in over that. Okay, let's just zoom in. Now let's just listen where there's any breath, an intake of breath leading up to this phrase. Yeah, about there it begins, the breath, right? There. Okay, so I want to drop in just before where I breathe in. Okay, so I don't drop in the middle of a breath. So there'll be a second breath. You know, the breath has started, I drop in there, and then I'm breathing in again to sing that phrase, and we get like that. Okay, so I'm going to replace that phrase, but with more energy, so it's got the same energy as the other three phrases. Okay, we're not in cycle recording this time, but the default is it will create a take folder. When I drop this little section in, it will record and drop out of record over the red bit. Right, so here we go. I won't do the whole thing, I'll take it from this phrase here.
Baby, baby,
Oh, well, it did the whole thing.
where did our love go? I heard that you left this town. Where did our love go?
And I've dropped that phrase in, right? But it drops it in as a take folder. There's the original take down there. There's the new take automatically swiped into the comp at the top. This is what will play back. The original recording, then it'll switch to the new take, then back to the original recording. Now I can think, oh, let's do another take there. Here we go. Wait a minute, let's flatten that first. Let's do another take now. Well, I don't have to flatten it, let's just do it. Here we go.
I heard that you left this town. Oh, where did our love go? Yeah.
And there's another one. And each time I so I can drop in, punch in to replace this phrase several times, and I end up with different takes in the take folder, which I can switch between. Okay, so am I going to go with this drop in or this drop in? Let's have a listen.
Left this town.
First, this one.
Where did our love go?
Right, that's too hard, so we'll go with that one.
I heard that you left this town. Oh, where did our love go? Yeah.
Yeah. And if I want to do another one, and then I just go and choose the one I want, or stick with the original. Right. Choose that drop in, and then compact the take folder, and it just plays. Move it around, whatever you like. Or if I'm sure that's the one I'm going to, the drop in I want out of my choices of drop in, flatten or flatten and merge, etc. So I'll flatten and merge. Bam. The takes are all gone away, and it's into a new bit of audio. Now we've got a complete. We've done our drop in nice and tidy, but we can do the drop in several times and choose the best of them.
I heard that you left this town. Oh, where did our love go? Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So that is take folders and the quick swipe. Let me undo. The take folders and the quick swipe comping. And by the way, another thing about this thing when you do drop-ins, it creates a take folder and it does the auto swiping for you. So this is dropped in, whichever one, and the gap is made there. You can still adjust the edge like that. Yeah. And the out edge can be adjusted, where they join. So now I've brought this join point further towards the take where I actually started to sing, and I brought the back end in a bit, so I'm dropping back to the original recording earlier. You can still fine tune the edges, right? But that's it. That's your let's go back to the whole thing. That's your that's take folders working when you're doing punch and recording in no cycle. It's a really useful thing to be able to do multiple drop-ins and choose the best, or to fine tune the edges where your drop-in joins after you've done the drop-in. Okay. And by the way, this take folder, the whole take folder thing, does work exactly with MIDI as well, because the record menu overlap MIDI recordings in cycle and no cycle can be ticked to create take folder by default. So if you record some MIDI cycling round, you're left with the same thing, a take folder. The only difference is you don't get the swiping ability. Let's go to this one here. You don't get this ability to do the swiping like this. What you end up with is your MIDI takes underneath, right? And if you want to take a bit from one MIDI take, a bit from another MIDI take, and then a bit from a different take, or you do it by chopping with the scissors. You chop the phrases from the takes into different bits, and then highlight the ones that you want to play, and they'll play across the top. But you don't get that swiping thing. I'm just telling you that because we are talking about take folders, but this is in the context of audio. But just you can do it with MIDI, but it's slightly different. There's no swiping. Okay. So yeah, that's it, man. It's this is still expanded here, isn't it? So that's it. Take folders, they're absolutely brilliant, and particularly for creative purposes. This ability to be able to swipe completely new guitar solos from different guitar solo takes, or to record the same solo across 3-4 takes and choose the best playing for each part of the phrase of the same solo from the different takes, swiped and comped into the best of the bits, or play the solo 4 times with different phrasing for each bit and choose those phrases in the order you want them from each take, which phrase shall have from which take, and like I did, to make a completely different solo with different variations. And for vocal work, if you're getting ideas down for vocals, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because you can sing the vocal differently each time, swipe together the phrasing that you want to make the definitive phrasing for that vocal, and also this whole take folders operates by default when you're doing drop-in recording, punch-in recording, which is really useful because you can do multiple drop-ins, choose the one you want, and you've got the ability to fine-tune where the drop-in edge is. You know what I mean? Very cool. All right, so there you go. That's take folders and quick swipe comping.